It's exactly 19 after 8 o'clock. News and views on Salam Media with me, Julie Ali. Now, Durban human rights advocacy group Black Sash has welcomed the reinstatement of the 350 Rand COVID-19 social relief of distress grant. However, the group has expressed disappointment that the amount has not been increased. To talk to us about this is National Advocacy Manager at Black Sash, and that's you, Hoodah Abrahams-Fayker. Assalamu alaikum, welcome to the program.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you for having Black Sash.
My pleasure entirely. Doing great work for the marginalized, and we do hope that you continue doing it. Obviously, you're not happy with the amount of 350. What are the chances of increasing it, and where would you like to see it pegged?
Well, at the moment, we do welcome the decision because the grant had ended in April. And also it is very pleasing that the grant has been extended to include caregivers who receive the child support grant on behalf of children. And given that 95% of caregivers receive the child support grant are women, and they would have been unfairly discriminated if they were not included. So we are very happy with that. But as you say, we would have liked to see an increase considering, how the food prices are increasing, electricity, water, and just transport as well. So at least we would have liked it to be increased to 585 Rand, which is the food poverty line. But we also emphasize that although we appreciate that it's until March 2022, the impact of COVID will still be felt for a long time after that. So we would be advocating for permanent social assistance for the unemployed, pegged at the upper bound food poverty line of 1,268 Rand.
Chances of that being implemented, do you think you have a long fight ahead of you in terms of getting that passed?
To be quite frank, yes. I mean, I think the issue is political will. We have been demanding the extension of the grant since January, and there's been incremental short-term extensions, but at the end of the day, it was terminated. However, now they found the revenue to be able to fund this grant. So it's more political will. The obstacle of affordability can be addressed because there are proposals being made by Black Sash as well as other organizations and as well as the Department of Social Development on how you could fund a grant for the unemployed, by looking at taxes, looking at reprioritizing the budget, etc., and also just looking at corruption and addressing that. So those are just off the top of the head, but I mean, there are ways of funding it.
All right. So does this mean that the 350 Rand would be cash in hand? How does it work in other provinces? And also, if someone had been getting this grant previously, do they have to reapply? And then other people that, new people that didn't receive it in the past, maybe they weren't aware of it or just couldn't get to applying for it. What's the procedure involved?
Well, we await further details from the Department of Social Development and the South African Social Security Agency in terms of how this will be rolled out. But from inquiries made with the department as well as SASSA, it appears that everybody has to reapply because it's means tested where you have to be earning no income whatsoever. They had used to verify it anyway. When there was the grant. So now it appears that everyone will have to reapply. We don't have the full details. Previously, it was an online system, so we assume that it will also be an online system now. And I mean, there were challenges with that because obviously it's limited to people who have data and who have the tools to be able to make online applications. We hope that in the interim, when the grant was ended in April and now being reinstated, that SASSA has addressed challenges with the application process, with administrative inefficiencies, as well as with payouts.
Do we know when the first payouts are going to start?
We don't have those details, so we look forward to an announcement by the DSD. I think there's recently there's breaking news that the Banking Association of South Africa will not be charging beneficiaries when they use the ATMs to receive their grants. So we still await further details of that, but that would be of assistance, because at least they would receive the cash value instead of losing some of their grants to bank charges.
Absolutely. That is, in fact, good news indeed. So we, finally, my final question to you, maybe it's just wishful thinking. Any chances of there being backdated payments? Because this matter has been dragging on since April, isn't it? Or even before then?
Yes, it has. I mean, there's two aspects to that. The one is whether it will be backdated in terms of the COVID grant for the unemployed, but also the issue of the fact that now caregivers are able to receive the grant and they never did before. So that is also an important question to be flagged, whether it will be backdated for them as well to be able to apply and get the back pay. But at this stage, we need to just wait for further details and then be able to make a comprehensive response to that.
Well, let's hope that it happens sooner rather than later. Thank you indeed for being with us on the show this morning. Hoodah Abrahams-Fayker, National Advocacy Manager at Black Sash. Go well, and assalamu alaikum to you.
Wa alaikum salam. Shukran for having us.
8:25 exactly. News and views on Salam Media. We're waiting for your comments on our WhatsApp line 0617660355, or you can connect with us via any one of our other social media platforms. Still to come on the show, Dr. John Purchase to talk about the calls for removal of the Moy River Toll Plaza. Is it a good idea? How is it going to impact on the immediate vicinity, the economy? And does that mean job losses for the majority of the people employed by the plaza? And of course, other businesses that have sprung up due to the plaza.